What if Samson never told Delilah his secret? If Samson had never told Delilah his secret, the story of Israel's greatest judge would have been unfolding in a completely different direction. His strength would have still been shocking nations, and the Philistines would have continued trembling any time his name was mentioned. Samson would have been walking through the land with an authority that only God could give, striking fear into the heart of every enemy who dared to rise against Israel. If Samson had kept his secret, Delilah would have continued trying every trick she knew, but her schemes would have been failing one after another. Her emotional manipulation would have been losing its power, and her beauty would no longer be strong enough to deceive him. Samson would have been growing wiser, realizing that not everyone who smiled at him was truly for him. If Samson had never revealed the source of his strength, he would have kept his consecration intact, and his hair would have continued growing as a symbol of God's covenant with him. Every strand would have been representing divine purpose, every lock carrying destiny, and his anointing would have remained untouched by the enemy. If Samson had kept quiet, he would have been avoiding the trap that destroyed him. His nights with Delilah would have been filled with temptation, yes, but he would have been resisting the enemy's bait. He would have been learning that supernatural strength demanded supernatural discipline. If Samson had never opened his heart to the wrong woman, he would have been living longer, serving Israel stronger, and accomplishing more victories than the scriptures recorded. His life would not have ended in chains, grinding grain like a prisoner. His eyes would not have been gouged out by the Philistines. Instead, his vision would have remained clear, both physically and spiritually, guiding him to the destiny God originally designed for him. If Samson had stayed faithful to his calling, the Philistines' plan would have been failing completely. Their leaders would have been frustrated, their spies confused, and their fear would have increased each time Samson defeated them. The enemy's celebration would have turned to mourning, because the one they wanted to weaken would have remained unstoppable. If Samson had protected his secret, Delilah would eventually have been exposed. Samson would have been realizing that her interest in him was not love, but curiosity, not loyalty, but betrayal. He would have been seeing the truth behind her questions, and he would have been escaping from a trap that was never meant to capture his destiny. If Samson had walked away from Delilah, he would later have been thanking God for the escape. His story would have been continuing with victory after victory, not a tragic collapse, but a powerful legacy. The land of Israel would have enjoyed more peace under his leadership, and children would have been hearing stories of the judge who feared no army and bowed to no enemy. If Samson had never told Delilah his secret, his final years would not have been spent inside a Philistine prison. Instead, he would have been sitting as a warrior judge, surrounded by people who honored him. His strength would have been inspiring the next generation, and his obedience would have been teaching Israel the importance of guarding divine secrets. If Samson had kept his mouth shut, Israel's history would have been reading differently. He would not have died with the Philistines. He would not have needed revenge for his eyes. He would not have needed one last desperate prayer for strength. Instead, he would have been finishing his mission strong, with dignity and honor. But because he revealed what he should have concealed, he fell where he should have stood. And that is the warning this "what if" holds for us today. If Samson had never told Delilah his secret, his destiny would have remained standing. And if we learn to guard our divine secrets, our destiny too will remain unbroken. Thank you for watching WordSpring's What If Bible series. If you want more episodes like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs wisdom today.